There you go, Jada. Hey.
I can't stand it, I'm a unbeliever that we all meet up in eternity. It's up the big man, show me some courtesy. Why? Cause I'm deep heartbreaker like smoke does linger around a fire, yeah. I never want you to be my man. I just need your company. Whoa. I never thought I'd be where I am today. I grew up in the small outer metro town of St. Michael for 18 years, but growing up as a kid, I remember being really lonely. Ever since I was little, I've been shy, and it was hard for me to make friends. I barely spoke up in front of anyone who wasn't my friends or my family, and I remember being asked in grade school, "Do you even talk?" These feelings continued throughout middle school, which was also during the time I was becoming aware of my body, and I became self-conscious of every move I'd make. However, it was for the first time in 6th grade that I surprised myself and sang a solo for Performance Day in choir. Any fear I had of being up in front of people disappeared when I sang and let the feelings pour out from my heart. I still remember exactly how I felt that day. A feeling grounded in who I was, of being able to express myself, and having confidence in the sense of liberation. It was during my school years that my identity formation was beginning to take place, and the ways I came to grow and understand myself, but also how society viewed me. Growing up and going to a predominantly white town and school, I was cast out as a racially ambiguous, not quite white person. At the time, I thought I was just a weirdo, due to my confusion around my identity. I wasn't raised in or connected to my native culture and community, and so I had some internalized hate that took me a while to undo and wholly love myself, my features, and cultural and mixed race identity. I would dread each time someone would ask in one way or another, "What are you? Where are you from? What's your ethnicity?" Due to my family's own varied understandings of their racial and cultural identities, having a white dad and native mom, I didn't even know how to answer this question myself, which also didn't make me feel much better. I responded to these microaggressions negatively and wanted to hide from the world and quietly get by. Not only till I was older and involved in my community in Minneapolis did I embrace and learn more about my culture and felt proud as an Anishinaabe. Basically, while growing up, I felt isolated, like it was hard to be understood, and people didn't really see me for me. Music became that outlet, as I discovered in 6th grade, and I would sing and write out all my emotions. I had an intuitive feeling that singing wasn't just a hobby for me, but a part of a larger, meaningful journey. Also during this time, I started experiencing the effects of sexualization against myself and my body. Going from a nobody and loner to someone who much of their worth and likeness is being placed on their body left me in a whole other dimension, it felt like. I remember my first week of high school, walking down the hallway and older guys casually touching or grabbing me. And just like that, I knew how others perceived me and how I started to perceive myself. All this bombarding of sexual interest and harassment really skewed my idea of what my worth was. Like if I said no to guys' sexual advances, they wouldn't like me or might even hurt me. So there was this aspect of feeling safe while I didn't feel safe at all. On the other hand, I thought, well, they'll like me and I'll be a likable person if I do this or that. I could sort of protect myself in a way. I could finally fit in. Not ever saying yes to the advances, but just going along with it. It's a time where we're building our images, so I started to build my identity around this perceived sexual maturity and independence. But instead, this led to lots of sadness and loneliness, as I felt like I didn't have a choice. It didn't feel like empowerment, and I realized these people didn't really care about me, about my well-being and my passions. I started falling away from my friend group and hung out more with strange guys who weren't even my friends. I turned to harmful outlets and behaviors to escape, even if this confused me with the trauma I was experiencing from assault and rape, not realizing until a few years later that I was being sexually exploited as I shared experiences with others who were going through similar things. All of these things happening to me during this period of my life began to define my art because I was able to process my feelings and traumas through music. Not only for myself, but people were also listening to my music. I felt that my voice and experiences were being heard. Music has always been an avenue of expression, and it started to become something positive, healing, validating, and powerful in my life. Through music, we're able to speak to each other through song. Our experiences seem like they matter because they're heard, and in that act, we reclaim our feelings and identities. What's more, music is a historical platform to invoke conversation and action around sexual violence, racism, homophobia, things that I was experiencing, but also around movements, justice, and love. I fight back against these violences committed against myself and my communities through the beautiful healing power of music.